So again, this is page M1, 167. I decided to stop because, yeah, so here we go. I'm going to do 3 problems from the warm-up to start reminding us how to solve equations because we will need it for this new topic. Remember, we're in topic 3 on page M1, 167. So I just took this first problem and put it here, the second problem and put it here, and then there's the third problem. There was just not enough room in the warm-up spot. So this is solving equations review. X plus 105 equals 80. I just want to remind you a little bit about solving equations. So if this said x plus 10 equals 18, you're looking for what number goes into this equation to make it true. So hopefully you can see that 8 plus 10 would equal 18. So it's the same idea, the numbers are just bigger. So we're going to try to figure out what number plus 105 equals 180. Well, in order to do that, if you can't just see it, you're going to have to subtract this number off to see what's left. So what you see most math teachers do is called the inverse. So instead of adding 105, you would subtract the 105. Now, what I actually do as a trick to help myself is I circle the variable. That's what I'm trying to get by itself. So get x by itself. That is the big point here. So we're trying to get x by itself. So if I want to get this by itself, I would do the opposite of add, which is subtract. I'll move those out of the way, which is subtract. 105 minus 105. If I have $105 and you take $105, I have no money left. So you're going to see me cancel it out because that equals 0. I'm going to bring down my equal sign. Oh, not yet, sorry. And then what I do to one side, you have to do to the other. So 105. What you've probably heard in the past is teachers keep the equation balanced. So 180 minus 105. I'm going to use my phone calculator. So if I have 180 minus 105, I get 75. So then again, I brought down the equal sign, I brought down what is here, and I'm going to bring down the x. So my answer is x equals 75. And that would be my answer. So let's just check. Let's do 75 plus 105 equals 180. Okay, now this gets a little bit harder. If students are struggling on this, we're probably going to have to take a few steps back and review all of these, but I'm going to see how we're doing. So I'm going to do another type of problem. So again, you want to circle the part with x. So we have to get that 2x by itself, and this is the example number, so don't get that mixed up. So it's 2x plus 65 equals 180. So I'm gonna circle that, and I'm gonna do the opposite or the inverse of add. Just like we did here, I'm gonna do the opposite of add, which is subtract. So I'm gonna subtract 65 and subtract 65, because what I do to one side I have to do to the other. So 65 minus 65 will cancel. Then I'm going to get my calculator again. I'm going to do 180 minus 65, which is 115. Bring down the equal sign. Bring down the 2x. Okay. So then now we have 2x, which is also the same thing as 2 times x. When a number and a variable are next to each other, it means multiply. So 2x means 2 times x. So then the opposite of multiply is to divide. So you're going to see me write a divide. So it'd be 2 divided by 2. 115 divided by 2. 2 divided by 2 cancels. If I have $2 and I break it between 2 people, each person would get $1. So we just say that it cancels just like we did up there, or right there. So then you would say x is what you're left with, equals, and if I have 115 divided by 2, so let's try that. 115, then I'm going to hit divide by 2, and it is 57.5. So our answer there would be 57.5. Okay, now this last one gets a little bit more tricky, so let's see if we can do it. So, again, just like I was doing up here, I'm trying to get x by itself. Well, look how many x's we have. I have 1, 2, 3 parts with x. So you're going to see me still circle the part with the variable, or circle all of the variables. So we have x plus 2x. That's all of the x parts. There's a couple of ways you can do this. We could combine all of those first, or we could subtract the 30. I'm going to be consistent, and I'm going to do it the same way I've been doing them. So the opposite of add 30 is to subtract 30, and subtract 30. 30 minus 30 would cancel. I would have equals, and I'm going to do 180 minus 30. 180 minus 30 is 150. Then I'm going to bring all of that down. So I'm going to have x plus 2x equals 150. Now, let me find the color I want to use. I'll use orange. So how many x's do I have just right here? So ignore the other parts. How many x's are there? Well, there's just one of them. So you will see a 1 sometimes. Most of the time you won't, because math people are lazy and they don't like writing extra things. So if I just write an x, it's like I have 1x. Then I have 1x here, and then this one says 2x, because they have to say that there's 2 of them. So it's almost like I have x plus x plus x plus x, because there's 2 of them. It says 2x. But you don't see math people write that very much. What you would see is 1 plus 1 plus 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 would be 4x equals 150. So 4x equals 150 is what you're going to see or to solve. So this one has an extra step because we had to combine. This is called combine like terms, because they all were x's, and we wanted to say, rather than x plus 2x, we wanted to say there were 4 x's. So then the next part, like we've been doing, is you can notice that we need to split these two up. Sorry, I can't figure out what color I want to use. So then I have 4 times x. Remember, that's the same thing as multiply. So 4 times x. The opposite of multiply is to divide. So I'm going to divide by 4, which would make that cancel, and divide by 4. So then it would be x equals 150 divided by 4 is 37.5. So that is how you can solve equations. And so that was that review, or the warm-up, on page M167. M1167. Oops.